Hi there, I'm Marcia Hammond. I am a weaver, a hand weaver of many years. I've actually been weaving since 1962, which makes it a lot of years now. So I have made a career out of weaving, and in the last 30 years I have really focused on mostly rayon, chenille, and cotton as a way to put fibers together. My love has been clothing, and these are some of my pieces, as you can see around the wall. And I will tell you a little bit about some of them. This is a shirt that I designed. Actually, I designed this shirt probably 20 years ago, and it took about 4 years to bring it to where it is today, which is a really great proportion. But it took many, many years and many, many tries to get it to what it is. I love this shirt. Today it's got a side split collar, which is different from the original, which was a cowl neck. But it's sort of current that way, and I enjoy it very much. This fabric is a cotton warp and a rayon chenille weft, which I weave on my looms, or I have an apprentice who works for me currently, and she weaves some of the fabric too, so together we weave it. Up here, if you'll notice, is a side collared jacket. I call this the Chelsea crop jacket. I made it for my daughter the first time. Her name's Chelsea. And I used the big buttons as a design element primarily in this jacket, and those buttons are antique buttons, which I happened to find in a great shop in New York City, a little factory that had a bunch of them left on the shelves. It's a wonderful jacket in that it fits a lot of different body shapes, even though it's a little square jacket. I'm going to move around to a couple other pieces. This is a little vest. A customer asked me once to make a vest, and this is what I made because I don't really usually design traditionally. I like things to be a little different, and I like there to be a sense of sort of discovery in people when they're looking at my work. And for this, I made this be my little vest. It's sort of a little vest jacket. It's got little sleeves, and the tabs on here were a mistake the first time. I forgot to cut them off. And my wonderful seamstress, who will sew up whatever I give her, put them on there, and I was so upset. And then, of course, everybody loved them. So now it's part of what this piece is and has become for the last, 10 years. I love that shape. People love that shape. It's very affordable, and it enables me to play with color in a way that I love to play with color. It's like a little poem. It's little, that's why. It's a small piece, it's easy to make, it's quick. I want to say a couple things about color for me. I studied painting when I was 20 in college, and I actually paint also, but in studying painting I learned to sort of explore a surface through color and shape. And I feel like I've been weaving paintings now for 40 years. Abstract paintings, albeit. Each warp is like a creation of color and design itself, and then when I put the weft through the warp, it becomes another design, another little painting, if you will. And then when I design a garment, it becomes even a third painting, because it's a whole other construction. So I want to say that this is another garment that I have designed, and it's sort of a classic blazer shape. However, it's not that classic a blazer, which was my point. And it's trimmed out with multicolored fabric as a way of not having to wear a scarf. I used to make this jacket in all one single color and then throw a scarf over it, and it became an outfit. And now it's just a jacket all by itself with a lot of color added to it, which people have seemed to love. I want to move on with a another design element that I've been playing with, which is I've been dyeing silk fabric and adding it as a trim to garments that I have been making, a way to bring my chenille work into a more current place today. There's so many chenille weavers in the world. I mean, I can't even tell you. I was just in Guatemala, and there was commercially made chenille fabric in Guatemala. I couldn't believe it. I sort of made up chenille weaving, chenille fabric for clothing, really 30 years ago. I made it up out of nothing. I found the yarn and I went, oh my God. Not that chenille hasn't been woven. There were chenille bedspreads out of cotton chenille many years ago. This is rayon chenille, and honestly, I was one of the first people on this coast. I realized there was somebody else on the West Coast who did it simultaneously, but I sort of started it, and people have called me the grandmother of chenille. No, anyway. So the silk is a way of adding a new dimension to it, and I have had much fun dyeing this fabric. It's sort of my new horizon, and it's a way of combining my painting desires with making fabric, which to me seems to be something I need to do and love to do. So this is a cut velvet. It's rayon and silk, and it makes a wonderful trim for this. I've also started to trim chenille garments in just a chenille ruffle as well. So yeah, it's a fun thing to do. I want to move around to this side of the room and show a few of the silk scarves that I have been dyeing. I've been enjoying making shibori dyed things, garments and scarves. And shibori is an old form of Japanese resist. It's been done for thousands of years in Japan. It's a true art form there, and of course I have hardly even touched it. But I've taken a few classes with a master dyer, Joni Morris, in Hanover, and I have learned some wonderful things which I continue to explore. This is a form of shibori that is done. It's a design called katano. It's named after a Japanese man named Katano who designed this style of resist.